Okay, it's a little bit past 6 o'clock here on Tuesday, November the 28th. Call this meeting to order and ask that we all rise. We have the Reverend Sam Bosky here with us this evening, and we would ask him to lead us in an invocation, please.
I normally do my own work, but I'm no expert on civic praying, so I looked to see what was on the internet, and I found something from a ministry website from by a minister on the West Coast, and I think it's a very comprehensive prayer, and is easily adaptable to Murphysboro, Illinois. So let's pray. Dear wise and loving Father, first let me say thank you on behalf of all who are gathered here today. Thank you for your many and abundant blessings. Thank you for life itself, for the measure of health we need to fulfill our callings, for sustenance and for friendship. Thank you for the ability to be involved in useful work and for the honor of bearing appropriate responsibilities. Thanks as well for the freedom to embrace you or the freedom to reject you. Thank you for loving us even so, from your boundless and gracious nature. In the scriptures, you have said that citizens ought to obey the governing authorities, since you have established those very authorities to promote peace and order and justice. Therefore, I pray for our mayor, for the various levels of city officials, and in particular for this assembled council. I'm asking that you would graciously grant them wisdom to govern amid the conflicting interests and issues of our times, a sense of the welfare and true needs of our people, a keen thirst for justice and rightness, confidence in what is good and fitting, the ability to work together in harmony even when there is honest disagreement, personal peace in their lives and joy in their task. I pray for the agenda set before them today. Please give an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work around our beloved city of Fresno. I mean Murphysboro. It is in your most blessed name I pray. Amen. Amen. I did say I got it from a minister on the West Coast.
Thank you. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Deputy Clerk Ripley, would you please call the roll?
Alderman Hughes. Here. Alderman Curry-Witzman. Here. Alderman Brown. Here. Alderman Voss is absent. Alderman McComb is absent. Alderman Urbis. Here. Alderman Bratton. Here. Alderman Bastian. Here. Alderman Pittman. Here. And Alderman Campos. Here.
Thank you all for being here this evening. We'll get right into our agenda as printed, and it begins with the consideration of council minutes from November the 14th, 2017, which is included in your packet. And I'd entertain any questions or amendments to the minutes at this time. Hearing none, seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. That takes us to the consideration of accounts payable. I believe we have Register 644 included in your packet, and I would entertain any questions on the bills at this time. Hearing none, seeing none, I entertain a motion to pay the bills.
Scary, isn't it?
It is.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That takes us to our regular committee and commission reports. And up first we have Budget and Finance, which is chaired by Mr. W.J. Pittman. W.J., I'll turn this over to you.
Under old business, we have none. Under new business, we have consideration of the water rate increase.
Go ahead.
But I guess that's because we've seen the increase from Kincaid is what?
Correct. We had a increase from Kincaid Reeds Creek Conservancy District, and that increase, Scott Evans, our budget officer, gave us a couple of different options, one of which that will make the city break even is a 5.9% increase in the water rate. And so That is the rate under consideration. Any questions about that? Mr. Urbis?
What was the increase passed on to us from?
Almost
Kincaid?
13%.
So, yeah, the increase from Kincaid was 12.9%. You know, we, our residents, I guess, will see a 5.9% increase. And of course, their billing cycle is every other month. So I think when we looked at this on a minimum bill, Sandra, do you remember, or Scott, what we were thinking this might have an impact on a consumer? $4 or so?
Something like that, just a second.
I think it was a shade under $5 per billing cycle.
Yeah, it was, like 4 and change.
Okay.
You know,
Mr. Pittman?
The only question I had was, you know, we've talked about that one of the reasons for their increase was that we are using substantially amount of less water.
Right.
Since we've repaired our main or replaced the main. With that 13% increase, even would we, like, how does that compare to what we were paying for a full year when we were paying for the leak, you know, at the current rate? So we were obviously using more water, so even at a lower rate, you know, do we know the dollar amounts how that compares?
I know we saved over $100,000, I believe.
150,000 savings with the leak stoppage. And the dollar amount increase of that 13%, what that represents, is probably closer to $100,000. So we're still coming out better than pre putting that line in.
Well, we had joked we should go knock a hole in a main somewhere, but, you know.
Ultimately, we're the ones who.
Right. So,
That's all the only question I had, I guess.
Ms. Ripley?
I just want to note that that's effective January 1,
Okay.
or proposed January 1.
Ms. Campos?
I just would like to move on to a motion
Okay.
to, move to, due to the increase on 12.9% from Kincaid to the Murphysboro Water District, to, make an increase of 5.9%, effective January 1st, 2018, to the city of Murphysboro.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
I think it's 5.97.
5.97, okay,
All right.
thank you.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I believe that's everything. Chairman Pittman, do you have anything else under budget and finance other than public comment?
That's the only item under new business. Is there any public comment?
Is there any public comment on items of a budget and finance concern? All right, hearing none there, we'll move into building and grounds, and that's chaired by Mr. Gary McComb, but he is not in attendance this evening, so I'll handle these items on his behalf. Under old business, the voluntary annexation agreements, I know that I spoke with Attorney Heller. He is in Chicago. He has got a preliminary draft of that agreement for our consideration together, and I promise, I know this has been a long time boiling on the agenda, but I promise that we should have something to consider and perhaps vote on at our next meeting. The status update regarding the issue on North 23rd Street and Union Pacific. Richard, do you have any update for us on that item?
The update that I have is that Mr. Heller is working on a letter to Union Pacific that will basically state what the city has done as far as maintenance of that street for how many years back, and requesting that Union Pacific provide to us whatever records they would have of maintenance that they performed on that street. So he looks to have that letter completed and out when he's back in Chicago.
Okay. In the new business, we have the opening and consideration of bids for the replacement of the roof at the Senior Citizen Center. Thank you, Reverend Foskey, for your attendance. As you may remember, we had hail damage at that facility, and so these bids are to replace the roof under that agreement.
I have a question real quick about that. There was some question about the insurance of someone that didn't realize it was under the city umbrella, Does this ring a bell with anybody? There was a gentleman that came that was going to repair that roof or such with his, and he didn't realize that it was under the city insurance.
Yeah, I believe that was
How did that,
American Roofing
yeah, I think it was.
Solutions
Yeah.
or something of that nature. And, you know, we, I think, decided as a council, we were just gonna put it out for bid.
Okay,
and
okay, that's right, I couldn't remember for sure, I'm sorry.
So,
So he had the option to bid if he wanted to.
certainly,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, definitely. All right, our first bid is let the drama build.
There may be an alternate in there also.
Okay. This is from Clover Roofing, and it is in the amount of $59,550. All right, the next one, it's even got a gift for me in here, is from TPO Roofing Systems. And it is in the amount of $67,000. 67,000 even.
Is that the same, is the TPO roofing system the same as what was in the bid? Sorry, I'm not.
Well, I mean, they do right here an alternate bid below a 20-year roof, $65,000, and it says tear off, 43,000 layover with 2-inch ISO. So, I don't know, Danny, you're a contractor, tell me what that means. Yeah.
Got a leak.
If I got a leak, and now I got a patch. Ms. Campos?
With the Clover, roofing repair, how many years and details? No, not even on the,
Well, let me look.
Well, the reason I ask is because that's the specific system and the guarantees.
What's the year? Was it that listed down here? The furnished roofing system must provide a minimum of 20-year manufacturer's warranty. So, does that answer your question?
yes, sir, thank
Okay.
you.
What was, oh, that was an alternate bid. The bid, what he had submitted, it appears that he bid $67,000
Under our
from our
specifications.
specifications as an alternate bid, a TPO 20-year, with a $65,000 tear-off, and then $43,000 layover with 2-inch ISO. So, I
So
would
this,
say that,
Alternate bid is,
That's an option.
that is strictly an option. I think that we ought to go with the bid at this point compared to what was spec'd out.
okay, let me keep that all
Oh,
together
yes,
if I
I'm
could.
putting it right back for you. Oops, that's upside down.
I think he's saying he would either replace it for 65 or 43 to put over the top.
Yeah, but if we go over the top, you don't, that doesn't,
We don't
take
want
care of
The underlying issue.
substrates that's damaged or less than acceptable. I would not recommend that.
This is why it's always key if you're going to submit a bid to attend the meeting. All right, and the next bid is from Geisler Roofing Company, Geissler, and it is in the amount of $97,900.
Is that a 20-year too, Mayor?
Yes. I assume it is. They did not, but they were working off the same bid spec as everybody else. I'll do it for that much.
I'll take it.
Yeah. And the final is from Matthew Brendel, D.E. Martin Roofing Company,
Martin Roofing?
right.
Okay.
And it is in the amount of $50,388.
150,000?
50,000,
50,000.
388. So Martin Roofing, I believe, has the low bid. They are out of Lebanon, Illinois.
What was that geese floor from? Do you remember that?
I'm sorry, Mike?
The geese floor roofing, was the geese floor or the from?
They are out of Belleville, Illinois. Sorry, Dan.
This is Martin Roofing here.
Right. There's their bid there.
And with this insurance, okay, so whatever we do, it's still gonna be sent into the, comp insurance?
Yeah.
Comprehensive.
I mean, it seems like we, even with the alternate bid, it seems like Martin would be the way we'd wanna go. I suppose.
They're talking about a separate bid.
Yeah,
for
we've got,
HVAC.
Yeah,
Does
he's got
Culver
some
say anything about that?
yeah, they've got some clarifications on this. The existing, air conditioning unit in the rear of the building will not meet the manufacturer's requirement for warranty, the RTU. We received an estimate of $5,220 from an HVAC contractor to review the unit, make the new curb and set the unit back, reconnect the ductwork. So, that would appear
Still cheaper than Culver.
it's still cheaper than the lowest bid we have so far, but we ought to have a clarification on that. And I may wanna, if you'd like, I'd be glad to take a look at Clover's also. But I think we would have to add the $5,220 to his base bid. Or clarify was.
Clover doesn't have anything
20.
regarding the HVAC in their detailed proposal
That he's gotta cover. I would think, I don't know.
at 59,000. I mean, he just doesn't specifically speak to it.
55,608.
Yeah.
Well,
Mr.
we
Pittman?
have- We have an insurance plan on it, right?
Yes,
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
So would our insurance even cover HVAC work if they, you know?
It's part of the roofing project because whatever you have to do when you tear a roof off, whatever you have to do to put the new roof on to where it will pass the manufacturer's warranty, they'll come in and inspect it and then issue the warranty, and that's part of it.
Well, what do we want to do?
I think we need to clarify a couple things on that first, or that'd be my suggestion, that's up to you.
Well, I don't have any problem. Thoughts from the council? You want to wait and get some clarification on these two bids?
Or the other alternative is that we could, approve the low bidder after verification, and that way they can get in the schedule of the roofing with whoever's low.
Well, why
However the
don't-
council feels more comfortable with.
Why don't we do that, Danny? And if you don't mind, can we charge you with getting that clarification?
I will do my best.
Okay. All right. Well, I have a motion to approve the bid from Martin Roofing pending clarification of the bid structure.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Danny, you want me to, does that go with Clover's?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure it all gets back together in the same,
Yeah, they don't say anything about HVAC.
that goes in there when you get
Okay,
done.
and the thing with this, the other didn't have anything for bad wood replacement, and we want that clarified, because
Okay,
that can be double or triple what somebody else do, you know, so that.
sure.
If I, you know, if it was my roof, that's what I'd do, so that's.
Okay.
I'll get that all spelled out, and then you can review that.
Very good. Thank you, Alderman Bratton.
You're welcome.
All right, anything else under building and grounds? Any public comment on building and grounds? All right, hearing none, seeing none, we'll come out of building and grounds and go to Mr. Urbis and Community Relations.
Having a tough time, aren't
I had
they?
a third meeting in a row.
No old business or new business? Any public comment?
Okay,
We'll point out the Christmas lighting and all that December, Friday night?
Friday at 6 o'clock
Okay.
at Town Center Park.
I'm good.
All right, we'll come out of community relations, I suppose, and that goes to public improvement, chaired by Mr. Mike Bastian. Mike?
We have no old business and no new business. We'll be in
Okay.
public comment.
All right, that takes us over to Public Works, chaired by Mr. Dan Bratton. Dan?
Well, we don't have any old business. Under new business, we've got consideration of extending the storm drain for the Pond Creek drainage, which is on Roberta Drive. We've spent a considerable amount of money trying to clean that ditch to where the water will drain. And we need this so that the water can get from Roberta Drive, the storm drain, out to that ditch and then go ahead and relieve. I think that the ditch has definitely helped so far, but this is what we need to complete the job. It's like buying $1,500 worth of brand new tires, but you don't have the money to have them installed, basically. And Mr. Austin is in the audience here. I think it happens to be right there at his house, so if he has any comment, or am I correct, the ditch has helped somewhat?
Sure. Sure.
And his backyard looks like a swimming pool when it spreads all out and it doesn't get, and I think if I remember correctly, Mr. Mills, we're looking at approximately $2,500 worth of piping and fittings, and the city street department will do the work. So I would entertain a motion.
What is that actual drain? Does it actually go?
Where did,
Uh-huh.
the drain goes into
Where?
either Mr. Austin or his neighbor's one yard or both, about, what is that, about 100 feet? Something like that, about 100 feet. And then it just spreads out and just backs up and fills up their
Okay,
backyard.
So this storm drain that you want to have put in, where is that going to be located?
The storm drain's already there.
The storm
Okay.
drain on the street's there. We will connect to it,
Okay,
take out to the ditch that's been cleaned out
That-
somewhat, and divert it to push on down.
okay, thank you.
I will, if we're ready for it, I'll make a motion that we extend the,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Clarify that,
Okay.
we're gonna have to hook on at the road and go all the way out. right?
Correct, yes.
Cause it's not just hooking on to,
No.
there's so many holes in it that it.
Yeah, it would be a new pipe from the
From the road.
scupper,
Yes.
or whatever, at the road, all the way out to it.
and it's
Okay.
approximately 2,500, is that correct?
Yes.
And where will that take the water then?
It'll
It'll-
take it to the ditch,
And that's the ditch that we just
That
cleaned
we
out.
just cleaned.
instead of in Mr. Austin's yard.
We pray.
To the new lake.
So I would, open for discussion on the, council. I'd entertain a motion. I think Mr. Baskin.
I will make a motion that we.
Oh.
I'd also like to mention there was a second part of this cleaning the ditch out. And that was putting the grade on the east side of the railroad tracks and the culvert that was there. Am I not correct?
Yeah, I have met with Mr. Rubel a couple of times, and actually presented him with a proposal to purchase a portion of his property so that we could access that and do that work. He didn't accept the proposal that I put forth to him. And so I gotta figure out something else, because he won't let us come across his property. But I think there still might be a way. He essentially said he wanted X amount of dollars for 20 acres. I can't afford to pay him what he wants, and so I'm thinking maybe I could pay him what he wants per acre for fewer acres. So I'm letting that kind of simmer for a little bit, and then I'm supposed to get back with him soon.
And to answer your question, Mr. Austin, this price did not include, what happens, there's a big culvert, box culvert off 19th Street that milk jugs wouldn't be so bad, but there's tires float down in the yard, all kinds of trash. Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable, I've seen it. So what we had looked at was building some kind of a grate out of rebar or steel that we could hook onto it with a chain in the backhoe and pull it up and then clean that out periodically. But no, that does not include that at all whatsoever.
It would still allow the water to
It
run.
would, yes, it would allow.
It would just catch all the trash.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm thinking probably like 6-inch squares or something like that, and anything under 6 inches is probably gonna slide on through, but, you know, we can't, if you make it too fine, then the leaves are gonna stop it up and et cetera. But no, that is not in this proposal.
Yeah.
So I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Alderman Hughes, okay. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And is there any public comment? If not, we'll come out of Public Works.
Okay, thank you, Alderman Bratton. That takes us to Public Safety, chaired by Alderman Russell Brown. Russell?
We don't have any old business. New business is consideration of an ordinance amending the offensive fighting by agreement. I talked to Richard a while ago and he said he had wanted to table that until he can vote some more.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? What brought that up? I mean, what happened that they pulled that ordinance and?
We didn't pull it. Judge Biello, who is the new city judge, had some issues with the language in it.
Okay.
I don't disagree with him. I don't think Richard does either. The language is a 99, ordinance from 99, it wasn't well written. So I put together some language through some peer review and best practice. They're reviewing it. Ed and I talked yesterday. And they want to check a couple other things. Maybe tweak what I wrote a little bit and see if we can come to a consensus on it. Also satisfy the judge.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Bratton?
No.
Okay. I don't see anything else. Russell, you have anything?
No, no.
All right, any public comment concerning public safety? It comes out of public comment, takes us to personnel, chaired by Ms. Barb Hughes. Barb?
As far as I know, the only old business is, the FOP contract that is, being negotiated. From what I hear from Mark, there's been no particular movement on that since our last meeting. I don't know if you need to go into executive session for anything. I had that put on there hoping that there would be movement somewhere, and there was not. So really, it's informative only. I assume we'll be meeting soon with the whole group, and then we'll have more information for all of you. And at that point, Mark will also come to the meeting and give you an update on what's going on. Is that correct, ma'am?
Very good, yeah.
And then there's discussion about a salary that we probably need to go into executive session for or not?
I mean, we handled most of
We
that
handled a lot of
yesterday
that
at the.
last night. It just does have to be voted on by whole council then?
Well, that's a very good question. We essentially had a vote last night at Budget and Finance, recommendation to extend a 15% chieftain's salary increase to Chief Swafford. Does that action from Budget and Finance, I mean, I think we've had the discussion.
Yeah, I think so too, actually. I just didn't know if it needed a vote for.
I think honestly, it just will be approved when we approve the budget.
I think it's part of the budget.
Okay.
If that's an item in the budget, then approving the budget will cover that.
Right, okay.
Then we don't have anything there either. There's no new business that I'm aware of, and any public comment on personnel? Hearing none, I think we can move right out of that, ma'am.
Okay, that takes us to the mayor's report. I don't have anything specific under the mayor's report this evening, so we'll go to council member requests, and we'll start with Ms. Hughes.
It's really scary when it goes as fast.
I know it is.
I have nothing, thank you, Mayor.
Ms. Curry-Witzman.
Okay.
Mr. Brown?
Nothing.
Mr. Urbis? Mr. Bratton? Mr. Bastian?
I have nothing.
Mr. Pittman? Ms. Campos?
I hate to break this one, but we were talking about yesterday how to increase our revenue and maybe help our community grow. And speaking with Representative Bryan today, she was sharing with me that she just had come from Bushnell. And I think the city over there, what it's doing is proposing to people who are building new houses or new business, getting for a limited number of years the tax portion that the city gets. So we're talking about, we might not be having revenue for, it's just an incentive for a certain number of years, but at the same time.
Sort of like a residential TIF district.
But at the same time, we can make it commercial, and I see that we have some lots that the city owns in downtown, and maybe we can do something like that. I'm just looking under the trees and see if we can find a present. It's Christmas time. So, but you know, I think if we can do some soul searching in this idea, and maybe as a council come with something that we don't keep attracting people to Murphysboro.
What community was that?
Bushnell.
Okay.
I think we ought to build that to ourselves.
By Macomb? We'll have Gary on it then. Well, I'll look that up. It's probably something they have on their city website or something of that nature.
That's kind of
It just happened today.
Sounds like an enterprise zone to me.
I think
Yeah, it
it's-
sounds like an enterprise zone.
But it's residential, and we can make it residential and commercial. It will bring more jobs, more taxes, more revenue, more people buying, eating in town.
Gloria, I'm open to it. Let's, if you can gather some details on it and bring it to me, let's meet and,
And I will be happy. I will
Okay.
try to get all the information and pass it on to you before we, yeah.
all right, thank you.
That's
That
it.
takes us to department head requests. Ms. Ripley,
Nothing.
okay. Attorney Blake, Mr. Sheffer,
Yes, I did expect to have the final pay estimate from the contractor on the wastewater plant. What I'm understanding, everything has been done. Is that right?
Yeah.
I think everything but the steel, air seal on all the aeration basins.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that falls under Shriver's warranty or their, the city does have a maintenance plan with them, an annual maintenance plan. But I think they have assured Jim that they're gonna get that, try to get that done, so hopefully the next meeting we'll have that final pay. I did receive it from the contractor today, so I guess with the holidays, they will look like getting that to me.
okay. Mr. Swafford,
The fire department's gonna have hazmat refresher training here Thursday morning. Efforts to improve our training plus comply with Department of Labor's wishes, so.
okay.
it-
Very good, thank you, Chief. Chief Roberts?
Officer Meir and Officer Riggs, our two newest officers, graduate Police Academy Friday night. I'm going up there with a couple other members of the department to celebrate the graduation with them. They are the first to go through this long academy, this 14-week academy. They also are the first that Murphysboro has sent that I can see in any of our records that have scored as well as they have in academy. Their grades are far above class averages, and they are by far our highest grades we've ever sent to academy. So
That's a
I'm
good
very
thing.
proud of them.
Yeah, that's.
They've had a very long 14 weeks, and I had them back here for last week because they were out of academy, and they served food at the KC Hall and delivered food. I think they're going to be very, very good additions to the department, to the community.
Great news, very good. Mr. Mills? Okay, Mr. Kennedy? Mr. Stewart? All right, I think that's everybody. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
We just set a record. Beat the heck out of that.
Pretty close.
45-minute one they had, didn't we?
See what happens when you don't ask a lot of questions.
Will?